Alright, we got a heat pump unit here that the symptom from the customer was the thermostat keeps resetting. That's train heat pump, and it's got a Nexia 824 thermostat. So whenever I suspect a relay or contactor, a quick, easy test is just unplug it and go reset the thermostat and turn it on. Everything comes on, turns on, then you're probably pretty sure that that's the problem. So I'm going to change this out, and I'm going to put this one in it. I'm going to show you the couple of little things I do when I do that. Okay, I have obviously killed the power to the unit. So I've shut the breaker off and made sure it's dead. And I'm going to unhook the common wires here as well. You can hear that's the low voltage tripping the reversing valve because the thermostat's on and in the cool mode. We have got it disconnected from the low voltage. And I'm going to pull off all the high voltage wires. Now, if you're not extremely familiar with the particular brand, like obviously I am, this is what we sell. What I suggest is you take a picture. Now, in the old days, we would draw a little diagram on a piece of paper, and that would be how we remembered exactly what wire went to where. And now these days, with our fancy technology and telephones, we just take a picture of it. And I'll tell you what, these things, I should have unplugged the top first, because when you take the screws out of those lugs, or whatever you want to call these connectors, it makes these hard to manage. Sometimes it's easier just to take a flat blade screwdriver and pry that loose. I'm going to keep those screws to put back in the new one. Now, I am being very careful not to ground out the yellow wire, because it's actually hot. It's got low voltage on it now. That's the low voltage wire that brings in the contactor. The newer techs or the DIY people or whoever's doing this that's not doing it all day every day should probably turn the voltage off to the air handler. That's your safest way to be sure you don't ground out and afford yourself the opportunity to go and change the fuse, or in some cases even the transformer. Okay. Now these lugs are a little bit different than ours. So I'm going to show you what I do. to connect these wires.
Hey Ted?
Yes.
I gotta drop something off about a mile down the road for my son at my in-laws.
That's okay.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. If you happen to finish, you can just close the door. It'll be fine.
Okay, because you're coming right back, right?
I'll be right back.
Okay, good enough. Okay, so what I do for these two, and you can see obviously they went under a screw before, and now they've got to go inside that lug, is I snip them off, but I go ahead and leave this crimp on them. And the reason I do that is I never have liked just tightening a screw down on bare wires. So you can see leaving that crimp there gives you something to bite with the set screw on the lug there. And you want to be sure you got them in there straight and they're seated flat. And you need to snug this very good, but don't over tighten it or you'll crack the housing on your contactor there and you will be sorry. Okay. Cut the same thing off of these bottom ones. Cut the little round ring off. Never fails. Okay. So I snipped those off as you saw. Get those good and snug. Now we're going to hook the low voltage up. And the commons that are both here, one of them is the common coming into the machine and the other is the common for the reversing valve, and that's why we hear that clicking. Okay, I'm going to go over here and flip the breaker back on. Wonder if that written across the bottom right there has got anything to do with it. This one's probably from there to everything. Probably made in China. But I'm going to tell you what, these homers or whatever these are that Train seems to like to use, this one's not as bad, but the double pole one and the heat strips is bad enough that we started just changing those out before we install them. And I will show you the relay we use for that in another video. Let's click the breaker back on. Get around the bushes over here to get to it. Appears that everything's okay here now. So Screws back in it. Take my little dandy stool. And I do love that thing. So we did not have to change out the control. And we just found that unplugging the contactor got rid of the problem. So put this tripod in there where it goes. All right. Make sure I didn't leave anything. Still running. Oh boy, load controls. They had those old style, changed them out to the new style. I tell you, you guys at whatever part of the country you're in, if you don't have those stupid load controls in your area, you just don't know how blessed and lucky you are not to have to do that. All right, well, that was a simple repair. Let's go to the next one. Thanks for watching.